Hello, dear viewers and my students. This is RV Jambagi welcoming you all for our Tongal High School channel. In the previous two clips, I adopted a technique that is betterment of your understandings of the concepts. So many of you are liked that. So I am taking that forward. Students, let's bring a few important points of the lecture number 2 because I'm using those points in this session. Okay, so in the past class, we introduced the magnetism due to electric current or magnetic effects due to electric current, where we understood the Oersted experiment, nature of magnetic field due to current carrying straight wire, and Maxwell's right hand rule. So Oersted experiment concluded that any current carrying conductor or wire produces magnetic field around it. Okay, so a current carrying any wire that is producing magnetic field around it. So we also came across the magnetic field or magnetic field lines are concentric circles around the straight wire carrying current. So magnetic field lines are concentric circles around the straight wire. And if you want to calculate the direction of magnetic field, so we are using Maxwell's right hand rule, which states that if we are holding a wire carrying current in our right hand, the thumb points out the direction of electric current and encircled fingers show the direction of magnetic field. So we are using these 3 points in understanding the today's lecture. Okay, so let's take magnetic field due to current carrying circular loop or a circular wire. We know that when the current is passed through a straight wire, the magnetic field produced around it. It has been found that the magnetic effect of current increases if instead of a straight wire we use a circular loop of wire. It has been found that the magnetic strength or magnetic field can be increased by making the loop of the wire. By making the loop of the wire, by that you can increase the magnetic field. Let's take the arrangement of this. In the figure, looking into the figure, a circular loop or circular wire is fixed to a thin paper or thin card sheet. The two ends of the wire are connected to the battery source where you are getting the electric current. So when that current is passed through the loop, the magnetic field produced around it. So this is already known that. So whenever you are carrying the current through a conducting wire, it produces a magnetic field around it. The pattern of the field due to this current in the loop is circular near the loop. Near the loop of wire, so the field is circular and the concentric circles are formed and they are bigger and bigger as they move away. As they move away, the concentric circles are becoming larger and larger, and at the center of the loop, these field lines are pretty much straight. Okay, at the center of the loop, the concentric circles are making themselves into straight line at the center of the entire loop. I am talking at the center of entire loop, dear students. So the magnetic field lines are straight. Now let's apply the right hand thumb rule for this. It can be seen that each segment of the circular loop carrying current produces magnetic field lines in the same direction within the loop. Within the loop, the magnetic field lines are in the same direction, and at the center of the loop, all magnetic field lines are in same direction. Yet again, in the center as well as around the loop, the field lines are in same direction, and they are supportive to each other, and hence the magnetic field in the region increases. Okay, the magnetic field increases at the center of the loop of the current carrying wire. The magnitude of magnetic field produced by the current carrying circular loop at its center, the center of the circular loop, the magnitude of magnetic field is directly proportional to the current flowing through the loop. So if you want to increase the magnetic field, you can pass the higher amount of current. If the higher amount of current, there is a high amount of magnetic field. That's what the first statement is all about. That is, magnitude of magnetic field is directly proportional to the current flowing through the loop. Next, the magnitude of magnetic field is inversely proportional to the radius of the circular loop. At the center of the loop, the radius is 0. Therefore, the magnetic field is high in that case. I said that the magnitude of magnetic field is inversely proportional to the radius of the circular loop. At the center of the circular loop, the radius is 0. Therefore, the magnetic field is high. At the center, this is the reason why magnetic field is high in that region. So as they are moving from the center of entire loop, it is becoming magnetic field becoming weaker and weaker. That's what the second point means. Note that the strength of magnetic field can be increased by taking more number of turns of insulated copper wire closely wound together. If you wound the insulated copper wire in more numbers, you can increase the magnetic field also. So we can conclude that the magnetic field lines around circular coil carrying current are concentric circles near the loop. The magnetic field lines around the circular coil carrying current are concentric circles near the loop and getting bigger and bigger as they move away. They are getting bigger and bigger as they move away, and at the center of the loop, those field lines are straight. They are straight. Okay, this is the conclusion we are drawn at this point of time. Dear students, let's move on to magnetic field due to current carrying solenoid. Let's understand what exactly the solenoid is, and later we will find its magnetic field. The solenoid is a long coil containing a large number of closed turns of an insulated copper wire. Okay, solenoid is a long coil containing large number of closed turns of insulated copper wire. In other words, a cylindrical coil of many tightly wound turns of insulated wire with the diameter of the coil smaller than its length is also taken as a solenoid. Okay. Generally, solenoid is a long coil carrying a close number of insulated copper wire, which makes the diameter of that coil becoming smaller than its length. So this is the solenoid. Take a look into the picture here. So that is a solenoid. First example of a solenoid. It can be also given by other two pictures. So these two are also the solenoid parts. Okay, I hope you are getting the definition of solenoid right. A solenoid has a coated wire wound in the form of helix. So a solenoid has a coated, that is insulated wire wound in the form of helix. Each turn of the solenoid can be regarded as a circular loop. Here, each turn of a solenoid can be regarded as a circular loop, and it's look like a hollow pipe, Let's move on to the magnetic field due to a solenoid carrying current. The figure shows a solenoid Sn whose ends are connected to a battery through switch K. Looking into the figure, the solenoid has, remember, whenever you are passing the current through the solenoid, it produces a magnetic field around it, and it behaves like a bar magnet. It is quite similar to the bar magnet. The bar magnet has a south and north pole respectively. So those whatever the properties possessed by the bar magnet, the magnetic field of a solenoid carrying current remains same. So this is pretty much same in comparison with bar magnet. Okay, note that the magnetic field lines pass through a solenoid and return to the other end. So magnetic field lines are passed through the solenoid, return to the other end, means just like in bar magnet, the field lines are coming from north to south externally, and south to north internally. So similar property can be possessed here also. Magnetic field lines inside the solenoid are in the form of parallel lines. So just ignore the outer part. So whenever you are into the solenoid, the field lines are parallel straight lines, indicating that the magnetic field inside that remains same in all the points. In all the points inside the solenoid, the magnetic field is same and it is strong too. Okay. Therefore, the magnetic field lines are uniform inside the current carrying solenoid. So just like bar magnet, it is also possessing north pole and south pole. So how do you calculate the north pole and south pole of the bar magnet? Sorry, so south and north pole of the uh, a solenoid carrying current. So whenever you are bringing a north pole of a bar magnet to the two ends of the current carrying solenoid, so one of its end, assume it is repelled. So the repelling part is taken as north pole and attracted part is taken as south pole. So the current in each turn of the current carrying solenoid flows in the same direction, due to which magnetic field is produced by each turn of the solenoid adds up, giving us the strong magnetic field inside the solenoid. So the solenoid in the solenoid, the magnetic field is strong. How they are strong? The current in each turn of the solenoid flows in the same direction which gives the magnetic field. uh, adding magnetic field gives rise to the strong magnetic field. Okay, this field is used to magnetize the piece of magnetic material like soft iron, when placed inside the solenoid. So it can be useful in magnetizing the magnetic materials like soft irons, nickel, cobalt, so on. The magnet thus formed in this case is taken as electromagnet. Thus, the magnet right now it is forming, it is taken as electromagnet. So solenoid is used for making the electromagnet. Dear students, note that the arrangement of current carrying wires from the beginning, see how the things are moving. Okay. So the arrangement of current carrying wire, initially we took a current carrying conductor produces magnetic field around it. Okay. A current carrying straight wire produces magnetic field lines which are concentric circles. Whenever you are making the loop of that straight wire, it produces magnetic field pretty much straight at the center of the loop. Now we made such number of circular loops in the form of solenoid, and hence magnetic field lines are parallel straight lines, and magnetic field is the same in all points inside the magnet, and it is behaving like a bar magnet. Note also that in each steps we are getting the magnetic field stronger and stronger. Okay, concept. That's why this concept is so important. From Oersted experiment to the point right now we are discussing, so it has its own meaning, right? Please try to understand each and every step. They are very much important in this chapter to understand. So let's continue that. The strength of the magnetic field produced by the current carrying solenoid depends upon the strength of the magnetic field produced in case of solenoid is depending upon the number of turns of the solenoid, the strength of current flowing inside the solenoid, the strength of the current flowing inside, which means it is depending on the current flowing as well. And third one, the nature of the core material used in making a solenoid. What kind of material are used in making the solenoid? So these are the 3 points on which the strength of the magnetic field of a solenoid depends. Okay, so we can conclude this point as, or this concept as, the magnetic field due to current carrying solenoid behaves the same as a bar magnet. Magnetic field due to current carrying solenoid behaves as a bar magnet. The magnetic field produced depends on the number of turns, current flowing, and nature of the material used in a solenoid. I hope you understood all the points discussed today. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. The link is provided in the section. Thank you for watching.